Hi guys, my name's Nick Lowe and today we're going to look at some of the best exercises for lower back pain. Now lower back pain is one of the most common things I see in my clinic. It affects a lot of people throughout their lives, and through my experience of treating it I've kind of narrowed down for me what I think are the most effective ways to stretch and strengthen the lower back to treat acute back pain and to try and make sure it doesn't come back in the future. So with most lower back pain, one of the major components of it is a compression or a pinch. These are the muscles have gripped up, there's pressure in between the vertebrae which is pinching a nerve, and the first thing we need to do is open those spaces up again. We need to stretch open, loosen up those tight muscles, and we need to take the pressure off the spine, open up the spaces in between the vertebrae and free up any pressure that's been put on any nerves which may or may not be travelling down the leg and causing some sciatica-like symptoms. So let's get straight to the stretching part of the section. So this is the most basic exercise we can do to help with the lower back. And it's not so much a stretch, but just a very nice therapeutic lying posture which you can do safely at home, which is going to help alleviate a very acute pain. If your lower back's really bad and it's all you can do to just lie down and rest it, this is the most therapeutic position you can be in to rest your lower back, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So my legs are rested on a chair at the moment, but this can be anything at home. This could be your sofa, this could be a living room table, it doesn't matter. As long as the legs are raised significantly off the floor, there's a bend in the knees, that's the most important thing for the lower back. So the way we want to do this is just with our hands, gently lift our pelvis off the floor and tuck it under slightly. And as you can see, that leaves the lower back in a position where it's flat to the floor, in quite a nice neutral position. The muscles can disengage and you can just rest comfortably like this as long as you want to, and just let that whole section of your lower back, your spine, your pelvis just soften and begin to relax and ease some of the pressure you're feeling. What we don't want to be doing is lying like this, where the back is curved, there's space in between the floor and the lower back muscles. Again, tucking that pelvis under, flattening the lower back to the floor, and you can just lie here comfortably for as long as you want. Another very nice, basic, easy exercise for alleviating lower back pain is the simple hugging the knees to the chest stretch. Now this is very easily done. You're just going to raise your knees up here, reach and grip your arms like this, so your wrist is gripping your arms, and then you're just going to lean back and pull those knees into your chest. This is going to serve to gently stretch the muscles of the lower back and the glutes and just help take that pressure off any vertebrae that are pinched at the back of the spine, at the posterior nerve roots, and just gently lengthening all those muscles along the posterior chain. You can squeeze your knees together with your arms and you can just pull them up into your chest. Stay here for up to a good few minutes if you're comfortable like this, and just gradually work on bringing those knees as close up to your shoulders and your chest as you can, and just relax into the position. Another great exercise for lower back pain or any issues of the spine really is the famous happy cat, angry cat pose from yoga. So we're going to go into it. First of all, just spread your hands nice and wide on the mat, making sure that the arms and the legs are about 90 degrees parallel to your body. First of all, we're just going to raise the middle of our back up and then sink the middle of the spine down. Nice and slow, controlled movements. Flexing and extending the spine. And really make sure on the up phase, you just let the neck hang a little bit. And when you come down, you can lean the neck up a little bit, but be careful not to compress the back of the neck too much. And again, really guys, you can do as many of these as you want. Just get into a nice rhythm, slow controlled movements, flexing and extending the spine, loosening up the muscles either side of the spine, and just opening up the spaces in between the vertebrae. Okay guys, this next exercise is a modified version of down facing dog from yoga. Now obviously dog pose is a great position to help stretch and strengthen the lower back, but there's about a gazillion videos on YouTube of how to do that. So if you're interested in that, go look at another video. I'm going to show you an easier, safer way to do it if your lower back's not feeling up for such a strong stretch. You're going to need a table roughly about hip height. Something like that is good. This could be a kitchen table, a dining table, maybe a mantelpiece, something like that. Play around, I'm sure you can find something appropriate. We're going to start by spreading the hands nice and wide on the table like so, and then just walk the feet out and slowly just come and dip into the pose like this. So the lower back should be parallel with the floor, the arms and the shoulders should be extended, and you're going to feel a nice, easy, relieving stretch on the lower back muscles and the hamstrings. If your hamstrings are too tight, which is a very common issue, you can bend the knees. Bending the knees is okay. You're still going to get a stretch and a lengthening for the lower back muscles, and you're still going to get some decompression of the vertebrae. Start like this, and eventually as you feel more comfortable with the exercise, you can gradually work on straightening out your legs to maximise the benefit of the pose. And again, you can hold this from anywhere up to sort of a minute onwards, as long as you feel kind. The next exercises we're going to look at are the lying lower back twisting stretches. Now these are brilliant stretches and exercises for the lower back, and generally with some help they can be done safely and effectively. But they are stronger stretches than the previous exercises, so if you're suffering from an acute lower back pain, just proceed with caution, but we're going to show you how to do these exercises safely if your range of motion is not so good. So first of all, I will show you what the exercise ideally looks like if you have a good range of motion. We're going to stretch the arms out to the side. Always nice to have a blanket or a pillow or a support for the head. Walk the heels up to the buttocks. Keeping the knees together, we're just going to twist side to side. Make sure the arms are staying base to the floor and doing your best to get both knees all the way over, touching the floor on the opposite side. And you're going to feel a nice strong twisting stretch all the way into the lower back, the lower spine. And just do about 5 to 10 of these each side as a warm-up. Good. Now, there's a good chance your flexibility might not allow you to do this, especially if you've had a bad lower back injury for a long time, you're stiff, immobile. So we're going to show you good safe ways to be able to get the same benefits of the exercise with some props and support. So today we're just going to be using cushions and yoga blocks. You don't have to use these, you can use sofa cushions at home, bolsters, rolled up blankets, towels, whatever you can find. Be creative. So what you want ideally is equal support each side where the knees are going to land on the floor. So I'm going to go back in to the stretch, arms out by the side, and this time the support's going to stop me from reaching the floor. So the second lying twist is a little bit of a stronger stretch, and it's more of a static stretch. The first one, we're just moving the knees side to side to warm up. Now we've warmed up the lower back and the spine a little bit, we're going to hold this stretch for a long time and really give the lower back muscles an opportunity to fully lengthen and stretch open. So we're going to start from exactly the same position as the previous exercise. Arms out to the side, and this time, after we've walked the heels up to the buttocks, we're actually going to raise the knees to 90 degrees here. Then we're going to put them all the way over to one side so that there's a right angle in between our legs and our spine coming up here. Once the knees are rested down, keeping your opposite arm based, just reach over with the hand on the same side of the knees and just rest it gently on the outside here. Now you can really take your time in this stretch. Hold it up to a minute, going on to 2 minutes as you get more confident. Just breathe and really just let your body relax into the position. Let those lower back muscles lengthen. Let the stretch take the pressure off the vertebrae. Once you're ready to change sides, lifting up, knees back to the center at a right angle, and changing all the way over to the other side. Same thing, make sure you're based out with the opposite arm, and just use the arm on the same side just to rest on your legs and just help put a bit of pressure down on the knees, and you're going to feel that really stretching strongly into the lower back and possibly into the glutes and the buttock muscles as well. Again, hold for a long time, guys. Relax and breathe into the stretch and just really take your time to let those muscles lengthen. Again, to come up, release the hand, bring the knees up and place the feet down. So there's a good chance that that's going to be quite a strong stretch, and you might not be able to reach the floor comfortably, and because your range of motion isn't good enough. So just like the first exercise, we're going to use props, and I'm going to show you how we can reduce the range of motion so you can still get the full benefits of that stretch. So again, making sure your supports are even each side as much as you need. You may need less than this, you may need just one block, you may need two, you may need a lot more props to raise up. So play around, find out what works for you. And gradually the aim is, of course, to decrease the amount of props you need for the exercise. So just like before, we're going to raise the knees up, we're going to roll them over to the side, and we can see now that we've got the same stretch, but the angle is much easier. Rest the hand on the legs, and again, relax into the position and breathe. And if you've had some back pain issues and you've been suffering from back pain, there's a good chance that this exercise alone and this level of twist is still going to be quite a strong stretch for your lower back. After you've rested here for a good length of time, release the arm, come back to the middle, and again, making sure you go into the other side as well. Resting the arm on the same side of the knees down, and relaxing into the stretch. Again, once you've held for a good length of time, bring the knees up and down.